Hi guys, today a new video with the new Souten cards. At first I thought these cards were bad and I still think they are bad for competitive. However, I think they are very playable. I mean this deck is not that unplayable. Like people got pissed off when they revealed the artworks for this because it's basically another generic anime Japanese swordsman type of thing. However, I think the cards have some potential. So it's something you can play at locals easily. So first, the first combo we're going to review is 2 as 1 with the Fusion Dispatch, right? There are many ways to do the combos, but this is the most cost efficient one because we have to pay these cards, and in this way we leave more monsters on the field. However, they can be performed in many different ways. So I played my Thunder Dragon, then I play Fusion Dispatch for the only card we can summon, which is this guy. We special summon him from the deck. Like if we play Fusion Dispatch, we are not going to be able to summon anything other than fusions, but the other cards basically put us the same restriction, so it's basically the best place to play this card. This card allows us to put a token when we control a Souten effect monster, and then this guy allows you to blow a Souten monster to add a spell from our deck. So what we're basically going to do here is add the fusion spell, uh, which asks us for a discard. I mean, this card basically needs us to discard a card from our hand, and then it summons as many tokens as possible, and then allows us to perform two fusions. For the rest of the turn, we're not going to be able to summon anything else other than fusions. However, this card and this card both have the same restriction, so it's pretty much the same thing. Then we can summon two fusions from our Dexter deck. This one is really bad. I don't know. I don't know what the point of this card is. It's not very good. However, the other one is really good. It's basically like a breakthrough skill if you control a Souten fusion monster that was made with a monster's effect. So in this case we made this guy with a monster effect, so this card is on board. So we have one interruption out of this and still have a lot of cards in hand, and we still have not used our normal summon. This is what I found interesting. Like this card, if it's normal or special summon, it's going to allow us to search for a trap, for a Souten trap card from our deck, and they have a double Call of the Hunted. What this card does is basically summon a Souten monster from your graveyard and then special summon a token, which I think is really good because this card is basically a Link 4 by itself, as you are going to see. So yeah, the field is underwhelming for competitive. I mean, it has one interruptions. I mean, if I didn't dead roll like these two cards, they could have been interruptions, which is fine. But this is what I found important because take into account that this deck is not that competitive and this is just a first draft, but take this into account. Like we summon and then we get two tokens. If we manage to survive, this is going to be a really painful situation for our opponent because we are going to basically have another fusion spell, and then we're going to have an access code talker because we're going to insult, we're going to add, and then we're going to mill fossil for Renault, and then we're going to play the fossil, and then we're quickly going to get to access code talker with a bunch of attack and a pop, and then we can spam the field with more fusions, right? Like we can summon here and we can summon a second one here without wasting that one, like I misplayed there. So it's basically super quickly. This deck makes a lot of damage really quick. So I'm gonna show you another version of the same combo with other cards. Like in this case I search up for the girl. The girl is going to summon, is going to add the double Call of the Hunted, and then we're going to pay the cost. This is interesting because I paid this card for cost, and this card basically copies the effect of that card if I need it. So it's basically as if I didn't discard. I mean, I paid the cost, but I didn't lose the utility, which is very good. If I don't need that card, I can basically Call of the Hunted 4 monsters from my graveyard, which is really impressive. So this is going to happen. Like we are going to make some fusions. Keep in mind I couldn't summon like this fusion because this fusion asked for a specific material, so I had to set up with this and this. However, again, I made one of these fusions with an effect monster, so this effect is on board. So we have no problem there. In this case, like again, we have one interruption. In this case, the double Call of the Hunted, and then we're going to search for the Call of the Hunted again, which is interesting because you don't lose any card advantage if you attempt the access code talker play. So it's basically just the same thing as you're going to see. We're going to go Isolde. We're going to go for this guy, and then Renault, Fossil. Then we're going to play double Call of the Haunted again for 2 more monsters, because why not? Then we're going to add another card from our deck. Then we're going to go for Boreal Sword, and then we're basically going to spam the field with a gazillion fusion monsters, right? This is what I found interesting, to be completely honest. Like, the deck is underpowered, I'm not going to lie to you, but I found these interactions really, really interesting, because we could try it again and again and again and again. I found it really interesting. Then I'm going to show you another way to do it, which is basically with a toner, like Fusion Dispatch. This guy, we blow this guy up for the fusion spell, then we pay the cost, and then we summon, I mean, 4 or 5 tokens doesn't make a difference in this case. So we're going to summon 2 fusions, and set our Call of the Haunted. In this case, these fusions are dead. This is what I found problematic with the deck. These fusions should have their effects on board, but whatever. Then again, we play the double Call of the Haunted, and if we don't want to do the Isolde route, like we could basically do a 5 Rex route, which is 5 Rex, then a Toner, and then Access Code Talker again. It's super easy to make that play with the Call of the Haunted, which I think is really interesting. So now I'm going to show you the build, and check it if you like it. I don't think the deck is like top tier or anything, but it's interesting for what it is. This is the build, the demo build. It's basically okay, I think. But maybe people will grab some ideas from this and attempt to play this deck more and develop it more. So that's that. I think it's interesting. The lukewarm reception because of the artwork is like petty in my opinion. I mean, it's not the fun type of artwork, but it's not bad. So that's pretty much it for today. Guys, you can play the deck. That's the main strategy of the deck, which is very simple, like summon some fusions and then Call of the Haunted to set up another gate. It's super easy. It's one of those turn 3 decks. So that's it for today. Like, see you later, guys.